All right, it's Paul again as YNR Update. Things are getting crazy now. Now that we've got the whole doppelganger story exposed, we now get to see what Kelly's up to and what she tells Jack. You know, this is so out of misery. And she tells Jack she wants him. That is her end game. But she wants him to love her. She says that Phyllis is being well taken care of. And at that point, we do get to see a cut scene with Phyllis getting it on with fake Jack. And but it doesn't take real Jack to know that Victor is definitely behind this. At that point, Kelly drugs him, and she's really trying to squeeze it out of him that he misses her and he loves her. But he's getting, he does a few flashbacks and he's getting his memories confused. But in the end, he really says that it's Phyllis that he loves, and it does not go well for Kelly. She slaps him. I want to talk to Kelly. Is Kelly in there? Kelly, stop this, abandon this. We all know how it happens. I mean, you can definitely go back and ask Patty Williams what happens to psychos. They get run off the show. Katie McLean is actually starting to check out our show. We love it. She's participating a lot. We don't want to see you go, Katie. So I'm going to talk to Kelly. Kelly, stop what you're doing. Let Jack go. We can figure this all out. But in the end, we know what's going to happen with this one. It's going to get played out, but I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that they do not run a great actress like Katie McLean off this show. In other events, we see Phyllis, and she tells Jack that there are a bunch of messages for him. I mean, they're off in St. Bart's, they're on their honeymoon, and she checks the phone. But Jack sort of swings it and tells her, don't worry about this, we want to keep it private, or at least fake Jack does. And he gets back to romancing her, and he actually makes her forget about the messages. There's also a lot of stuff going on with Nick. We see him with Vicky, and he asks, how can he be so wrong about Sharon? They both think that, obviously Sharon's been booked and she's guilty. And Vicky asks the same thing about Billy. How could she be so wrong? All of a sudden, Victor shows up and Vicky leaves. But he wants to talk to Nick about Sharon. What he wants to do is cement that position and make sure that Nick is not going to run to her rescue, and he trashes her. But Nick, even though he knows it's bad for Sharon, he basically says, this is the mother of my kids and I can't do this. Then we see Sage show up, and Victor leaves. Now, Sage has got some great news for Nick, and she tells him that the divorce is on. She's served him with papers, and obviously they have to do a waiting period, but she's going to be getting divorced. And Nick, she then tells Nick that she doesn't have a job and she's got no inheritance, and he offers a job. Now they go back and forth where she actually pretends that, I don't like mixing business with pleasure, but eventually she accepts the job, and guess what they do? What they do best. I mean, they really should get a lock on the door of that storage closet / office, because it's getting a lot of work right now with the two of them. But it's a lot of heat, and we love it. We love to see these mixes. So next we see Billy and Ashley, and this is really important because they can't raise Jack. And then Gabe comes by and says he wants to help. But Sage drops in, and at that point, I referenced it before, she gives Gabe the divorce paper. He tries to stall her, but she wants a signature, and that's it. Then Gabe tries to stall, but Sage threatens. We then see Billy, and he knows that the first thing Gabe's going to do now that the divorce is on is make a play for Chelsea. But Ashley tells him that she's noticed that Stitch is hanging around a lot with her daughter Abby. And not only does she tell him that, but she goes one further. And this is, I guess, great news for Billy, because he says, Ashley tells him that Stitch has feelings for Abby. So Billy knows, I guess he has options, obviously. He goes to Vicky, and, he says, with regards to what they saw on the videotape of Jack, he won't defend Jack, but what he wants is that he wants them to work together. He said that, if this thing comes down and Jack is run into jail, it's going to affect both of them. It's going to affect their kids, and their family. And eventually Vicky sees reason. They apologize to each other, and Billy asks her one more thing. He says, don't tell Victor, because you know what Victor's going to do with this once he gets the information, and it's going to escalate the feud between the families. So Vicky relents, and she says, okay, I'm not going to tell my dad. After that, we see, and they look quite cozy together, but we see Gabe show up, and obviously he's got an axe to grind with Billy, because he now sees, it's wide out in the open. They're both romancing the people they want to be with, but he calls Billy a hypocrite, and but then Billy throws it right back in his face. And what does Adam/Gabe do? He turns around and he hauls off and he decks Billy. Billy turns around and returns the favor, and next thing you know, you've got a fight going on. And so this is gonna get ugly. The two of these guys don't like each other, and I don't know how long it's gonna take before Billy realizes he's got the same animosity with Gabe that he does with Adam. But I don't know, we should actually have a pool to see how soon this thing breaks out. Then we see Ashley tell Gabe that she thinks that he's got an ulterior motive as far as the whole helping the family goes and trying to help out Jack. Because we see him in a situation with Victor, and he goes right to, it's Victor, Ashley, and Gabe, and he goes right for the throat and attacks Victor on a total personal level. Now, Victor says that basically Adam got what he deserves when Gabe references Adam. And, and then Victor says that the beauty of it is he gets to raise Adam's son. And Gabe is pissed off and he leaves. Now, Ashley asked Victor one more thing. She asked him to hold off going after Jack until he gets back from his honeymoon. And Victor, knowing that Jack's not going to reappear anytime soon, agrees to 24 hours. So that's where we leave things off. This is crazy. Things are starting to ratchet up. People are having a lot of fun. But as Ferris Flag tells me on Twitter, we don't see enough about Yvonne. That's right, Hillary and Devin. We need to see a lot more of them. I actually did a little piece on that, which I want you to check out. But keep watching us. This is great. We're having a lot of fun. More support from Katie McLean. Thank you so much, Katie. We're not worthy. We love what you're doing. We don't want you off this show. So hopefully you've got a doppelganger hidden somewhere, but something that can make all this go away. I want to thank you all for checking us out. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Don't forget to subscribe and keep following us on social media. This is Paul, YNR Update. Have a great day.